Hey love, so in today's video we're going to be talking about why your lack of focus, discipline, and consistency is keeping you from achieving your goals this year. I know a lot of us, every year when the new year comes around, we're so excited to write out our goals, and we know that the previous year we might have lacked discipline in some areas, or we might have lacked focus or consistency. I know for me personally, I have always, like the past few years, when I would do my vision board or write out my goals, I'd always say to be more disciplined on going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, eating and cooking at home most of the week. And then around after the first month or so, start to fall off. And I know a lot of you probably have that same cycle that keeps repeating every year. So this year, when I was writing out my goals, I noticed that I had consistency and be more disciplined on it again. I'm like, okay, I was reflecting on my past years. I looked through my past journals, and it was just really inspiring to see, first of all, what I did achieve and what I did overcome, and the things that I still need to work on as far as like procrastination, consistency. I feel like those go hand in hand. Discipline and focus. I feel like all of that is like a side effect of procrastination. So I was like, let me look up the definition for discipline. And the definition for discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. So when I reflected on that, I was like, okay, I understand the first part. You're practicing to, work in a certain way or have a certain code, or in the case of doing your goals, doing it consistently over like 4 or 5 times a week, however many times you want to do it, and you're doing it repeatedly. And you're disciplined because you don't let yourself make excuses to not do it. What I wasn't grasping is the punishment part. So when I read the definition for this, I was like, punishment. That's what I haven't been doing with myself. So that's a part of discipline, is having a punishment. Yeah, for the past few years, I've known that I need to focus on strengthening my discipline, but what I didn't realize is that I was missing the punishment half of it. I found this quote: discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. We have our goals, and the way that you're going to accomplish those goals is by being disciplined. And you have to carry this out throughout the whole year, not just the first month. You really have to be on yourself with this and have a set punishment for if you don't accomplish your goals. So for myself, for this year, my punishment for inconsistency and procrastination will be one of the following: no chocolate for 1 week, no sugar for the week, and no social media until I've finished the task. So one of those, depending on how big the task is or how important the task is. So if it's a very important task, then I would do one of the harder things, which for me is like no chocolate or sugar for the week. Or if it's something small that I just need to do, like maybe send an email to this certain person, or something work related, like I have to shoot something really quick or something like that, then I can't get on social media until it's finished. Or even if I need to post, I'll need to edit the picture, edit the video before I even go on social media. So that's one of the rules that I am holding myself to this year. And I feel like that's a really good thing to just have in the back of your mind, like, oh, if I don't do this, then I have to do this. And just kind of wire your brain to thinking that way so that you're being disciplined and holding yourself accountable of doing what you need to do. Next was consistency. So consistency is acting or done in the same way over time, especially so as to be fair or accurate. Steady continuity or stable. When I think of consistency, I think of a wave, and it has the same peaks and valleys. A quote for consistency that I found that inspired me was, you don't have to be extreme, just consistent. I really like this quote because it just reminds me that even if you do a little bit of something, that's you being consistent. Like, as long as you're showing up and doing something. If you're trying to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, say if you are like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym, but I did say I'm going to work out 4 or 5 times a week, pick up some jump ropes, or you don't even probably need jump ropes. Just jump in place for 10 minutes. Listen to a couple songs and just jump rope and do like squats or push-ups, and just like get up, do 10 push-ups. Start little, and as long as you're doing something, you're building that consistency muscle. Something is better than nothing. This is still working towards your goals in some way. It's a little percentage of the work done. So I really love that way of thinking of it. I was writing this for my 12-week year. This was the basis that I wanted to set for myself, because I didn't just want to jump into, writing goals. I wanted to have a plan of how to execute, kind of like a rewiring of my brain before I get started. For consistency, I said the tasks that I will do on a daily basis include stretching every day, drink at least 32 ounces of water, Not gonna lie, I have not been drinking 32 ounces, but I have been conscious of drinking more water. So that's a part of the consistency thing. As long as I'm drinking more water than I used to every day, it's working towards it, but I definitely need to be drinking more water. Journal and plan out my day, pray, and take my vitamins. I've been more consistent with taking my vitamins. I'm not doing it every day. I'm kind of throwing myself under the bus here.
But I have gotten better though.
Weekly basis is organize my home. What has really helped me is having my planner, which I have right here, which I'm reading off of. So I set out specific days of the week for when I'm going to do things. I plan out my workouts in advance. I schedule them by the end of the week for the next week. As I noticed last year, I would just schedule it the day of, and a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. But if it's already in my schedule, most of the time I'm going to do it. Like 90% of the time it's going to happen if I wrote it down to do that day. This has been helping me a lot with staying on task. Sunday is my cleaning days. I always write it down in my calendar so that it's fresh in my mind whenever I check what do I need to do today. Cleaning. Yeah, I work out 4 to 5 times a week, post 4 to 5 times a week. Like I said, the consistency, still building it, but it's definitely better than it was last year. And it's in my brain that I need to, at least do something. Do artwork every week, have a spiritual day every week, monthly money management at the end of each month, reflect and journal on the past month, and model practicing each month. Because I've been modeling for 4 years now, but I don't want to get to a point where I feel like, oh, I just know everything. Like there's always space to get better. So constantly refreshing that muscle and learning new things with modeling different poses, refreshing, just to keep myself at the top of my game. Focus, lack of focus is another one of those key factors that are keeping you from achieving your goals. So focus is the state or quality of having or producing clear visual definition, having a focal point. So a quote for this is, concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. Me personally, I have dealt with getting distracted easily. It sucks, but I'm aware of it. And I'm like, okay, no, let me focus, not do that. Even just reflecting and thinking, oh, okay, this is something I need to work on. This is how I'm going to work on it. And these are the things we want to do to avoid getting distracted. It's definitely always in the back of my mind. And I'm creating that muscle memory to not do that. A single task focus has been my main goal. Not trying to do multiple things at once, not trying to, what is that word? Multitasking is not good. You need to have single task focus. That's how you're going to excel at whatever task that you're doing. Just giving all of your energy into this one thing and working on it to completion. Major key. Because that's another thing that I dealt with a lot. Starting things and not finishing it. That's another topic for another day we can talk about. Multitasking, people think like, oh, I'm getting a lot of things done at once, but that's what leads to starting things and not finishing it. For me personally, I don't know about other people, but I feel like when you're trying to multitask, that's when you're like, you feel overwhelmed. Instead of just focusing on one thing, finishing it, and then start the next task. What has helped me a lot is the Pomodoro technique, which is when you set a 25-minute timer and focus on one task at a time. Don't get distracted, you're just focusing on this one task. And then after that time is up, you could take a 5-minute break and then set another 25-minute timer and work on that task again. And you're going to do it for about 4 or 5 times. If I need to start a new task, I'll do that. Or if not, I'll keep working on that same task. Setting timers has helped me so much. I literally just type in timer on my phone, click the timer app, set a timer. Sometimes I'll do it for even just 5 minutes if I just want to be consistent and at least some part of the thing done. Or sometimes I'll just time how long it takes me to do tasks so that when I'm planning out, I know how long it takes me to do it. So for me, I've learned for myself that folding laundry takes me about 40 minutes to fold and put up clothes. So I know like each basket takes me about 40 minutes. I'll time myself and make sure I get it done within 40 minutes. And then I can move on to whatever other task. Timers, that's helped me so much. I love setting timers and just working on stuff. Because me personally, yeah, I'm that person that can get distracted easily. But I'm getting out of that, and timers are helping. After I'm not going to say master these, but set aside your plans for how you're going to work on your focus, your consistency, and your discipline before you write out your goals, and have that set in your brain. Realize you have to reflect on your previous years. So I feel like reflecting before you write out your New Year's goals is extremely important, because then you can see where you're weak at and the areas that you need to focus on for this year. Otherwise, it's going to be a repeating cycle. Before you write out your goals, these are the main areas that you need to work on before. So just to recap, when you're working on your focus, not multitasking, be single task focus oriented. Make sure you're focusing on one task at once, which can be aided by using timers to complete tasks or timing how long it takes you to do tasks, so that when you are planning out your day, your week, or whatever, you know it's going to take me this amount of time to finish this, and you're planning things effectively for your day. Another tip with focus is all distractions are equal and equally counterproductive. So I got this from the 12 Universal Laws of Success, a book that I'm reading. I actually want to do a whole video on that book because I got so many keys from that book. But yeah, it doesn't matter how small the distraction is. If it's a quick text message, you're like, oh, I'm going to just reply to that text real quick. I don't know if you do this, but you'll go to that text and then forget what you were just doing. So that's why single task focus is so important. You can't let anything distract you at all. The quote that I got from 19 Keys was that procrastination is the abortion clinic of all ideas. So think about that. The moment that you procrastinate on doing something, it's kind of like you just put it to the side. Sometimes you don't even go back to it, you know? So that's why acting on things immediately are very important too. You know what you should do? Make a list of all the times that you've procrastinated on something and how it impacted you. You wouldn't have procrastinated on, say with me, being consistent on posting YouTube videos. I would have had so many subscribers. I would have, you know, a bigger platform on YouTube. And that's something that has been my goal for so long, but I've kept procrastinating on, for one, finding a video editor, for two, even just recording the videos, because I didn't want to record it horizontally instead of vertically, because I'm already doing that for reels. I just didn't want to record it twice. Just those little things like that are just so minuscule tasks that could easily be overcome. And if you do get over that hump of feeling like it's the biggest task, like it's just the biggest, going out of your way to do it, how far would you be? So that is my challenge for you, or not even challenge, just task for you, is to write out all the times that if you hadn't procrastinated, where would you be? So for me, it would be like starting my YouTube channel, or even just being consistent with posting on YouTube, or hiring a video editor, because I've been overwhelmed with trying to edit videos by myself. There's so many just little tasks. Like I've been putting off getting a parking permit for my place, and I've been racking up tickets. So if I hadn't procrastinated on getting my parking permit, I wouldn't have to pay $600 in tickets, you know? There's little things like that, and it's just like, if you just do things when it's on your mind, it just saves you so much time and energy. So it's very important to have that single task focus. I would say at least just write it down, and if you're already working on a task, get to that later, or write it down in your calendar for when to do it. Consistency, the tasks that you plan to do daily, weekly, and monthly, write those in your calendar so that you hold yourself accountable. Since you said you're going to do it, it's written down. That notification is popping up on your phone saying you need to do this today. You know, just have that reminder written down. Don't just say you're going to do it, because there's no accountability there. When you write things down or put it in your calendar, set a reminder for it, then it holds you more accountable, because it's kind of lingering over you, like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. So that will help with your consistency. We are not ignoring our responsibilities. We are not ignoring our goals that we have set out for ourselves. We are not tolerating that behavior this year. Adopt that consistency no matter what mindset. So like I said, even the smallest tasks, just do something, be consistent. It is so impactful in the way that you achieve your goals and the way that you go about life. For discipline, we need to have punishments for not completing our task, or not having strong discipline, for being inconsistent, for procrastinating. So like we said, set a punishment. For me personally, no chocolate, no sugar, no social media. For you, it could be something else that you like to do, maybe no TV, no binge watching shows until you've finished the goals that you've set for yourself. And I feel like it's really important to review your goals throughout the year, because like I said, a lot of people will fall off within the first month or so, and after each month you could just kind of gauge where you're at with following your goals and know where to go a little harder or where you need to adjust things, just to know what you need to work on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you felt like this helped you in any way. Share it with one of your friends that you feel like could benefit from this. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you stick to your goals this year. I hope you're focused, I hope you're consistent, and I hope you are disciplined with achieving your goals. Peace and blessings. Bye.